There is a rule of thumb which says that you can age an old hedgerow by counting the number of tree and shrub species in a 30-metre or a 30-yard stretch. It doesn't really matter whether it's 30 yards or 30 metres, because you'll be taking 30 long strides. This rule of thumb was devised by Max Hooper, who was an ecologist back in the 1970s. He did work on 227 hedgerows across southern England from Devon to East Anglia, and these were hedgerows that could be aged from old maps or old historical documents. The relationship works very well indeed in southern England and the Midlands, but isn't so good when you get up into the north and towards Wales. It's also been called Hooper's hypothesis and Hooper's rule, but it is actually a rule of thumb. It is an approximation. The reason it works is that most hedges were planted with hawthorn, which grows very quickly and is very spiny and deters grazing animals. And other tree and shrub species slowly colonize into that hedgerow. So, simply put, the older the hedgerow, the more tree and shrub species. So let's go and have a look at this one. Okay, we've got ash, we've got holly, field maple, hazel, that's 4, and I'm now going to walk towards you 6 paces. And 5 is small leaf lime. Small leaf lime is a wonderful tree. It's an indicator of ancient woodland. That means that this hedgerow is a really old hedgerow. And that is hazel. We've already got hazel. We're going past the small leaf lime. We've already counted that. There's more hazel here. We've already counted that. And now we've got a fantastic ash tree. We had ash right at the start, but this is another one, so that's still within the 5 that we've already counted. And I'm going to come right up to the end of the 30 metres. And there we have elder. Elder is number 6. This is a leaf of small leaf lime. It's a heart-shaped leaf. We know it's small leaf lime because if you turn it over and look carefully at the hairs, the tufts of hairs in the angle of each of the leaves, it's what ecologists call the hairy armpits of the small leaf lime. They're a brown colour. There are 2 other species of lime, and the common lime has a sort of buff tuft of hair, and the large leaf lime, which is a very rare tree, but we do have some in the conservation, in the trust woodlands, has got some white hairs in the armpits, but it's got much hairier leaves. This is hazel. You can see the leaves here, and these are the hazelnuts that are starting to ripen. This is ash, common ash. And this is the holly. This is field maple, which has got a really distinctive leaf. You only find field maple, again, in old woodlands and old hedgerows. Right, we're now inside the old hedge, and there's some additional features here which can add to which confirm the fact that it is a really old hedge. This is a lovely old hawthorn, but right down here, evidence of a hedge being laid, which is when the hedge is cut and flattens and then grows back again. That is a very old hawthorn. And just along there, there's a bank and a ditch. A long time ago, when they were creating hedges, the trees and shrubs were planted on the bank, and the bank was created from the ditch. So the ditch gave drainage and the bank allowed the trees to keep their roots out of the water initially. So you've got a bank and a ditch. That means it's an old hedge. Up there, you've got a very old small leaf lime. Lovely big bole going right up. And right behind me, we've got a pollarded field maple, which is a very, very old tree. So those features together with the 6 species, mean that this is absolutely a very old hedge, at least 600 years old. We're standing on the line of the hedge, and this is one of the additional features. This tree is one of the additional features which adds to the evidence that this hedge is really old. We had 6 species, that's 600 years old. This is a really old oak. It has been pollarded, which means that the branches have been repeatedly cut off. And if you look up there, you can see where they were cut off, and they were repeatedly cut off regularly. And the tree is really old and gnarled because that's a reaction to it being pollarded. Pollarded trees like this may be 400 years old. It's almost impossible to age. And pollarded trees are a particular feature of a boundary hedgerow.